Hey, what's up guys and welcome back to Anime King 2. Welcome back. And I'm back with part 3 of What If Naruto Was Cursed with Endless Reincarnation. Remember to get this one to 100 likes as usual. Share this to all of your friends on your social media platform. And also guys, if you're new, I indeed have a couple more channels for you guys to enjoy. Anime King, Anime King 2, Anime King 3, Anime Symbol. All of the links will be down in the description, so go ahead and obliterate that red subscribe button and become a part of the Anime King family, guys. And don't forget to go ahead and turn on the bell notification to see when I post, because I do post a hell of a lot. So without further ado or wasting any more time, how about we jump right into this? Let us begin now, guys. So the last part that we left off, Team 7 ventured towards the Land of Wave to complete the mission that Naruto has been through a few million times now, as he knew everything down to the last specific detail. Nothing would surprise him, nothing at all. As Zabuza Momochi arrived, Naruto started to make jokes, making the very tense situation becoming rather light, as his lack of caring about the whole thing makes Zabuza wonder about a lot. As Naruto single-handedly freed Kakashi, as he was able to outpace Zabuza, it wasn't that Naruto was faster, he just knew everything. Every move, every sword attack that Zabuza would use. Zabuza believed that he was going mad, as he could not touch Naruto one bit, as Naruto made a little game out of it, dancing around dodging his strikes, as he evaded him with every single attack, showing him that he was not good enough. Insulting his pride, Zabuza tried to cut him down but failed every single time. When it came to Haku now, Naruto was always favorable of Haku. Then again, his lack of caring about the whole situation really showed everyone. Kakashi started to take more stock into what Naruto was saying, actually starting to believe that he's lived this life before, as Naruto has done things that he should not know. Something wasn't right here. When the final battle happened, as Naruto was able to predict everything, he was able to understand everything, allowing Kakashi to understand more that maybe Naruto was indeed being truthful about everything. Yes, he wondered to himself. As the battle ended with Naruto insulting everyone, well, mostly Gato and the others, showing them that it didn't matter what they did, it was all pointless. Team 7 was hailed as heroes of the Land of Wave as they returned back to their home. Hiruzen was there along with Kakashi telling him everything. Now more than ever before, they were certain that maybe Naruto was not lying, maybe all of this was not a joke, maybe it was indeed reality, that he was indeed reliving this life over and over. This world was a crazy world after all. However, something new happened this time around. As Naruto was walking, there was an explosion. Naruto was stunned to see his mother, Kushina Uzumaki. She spoke with a sweet tone, yet as ninjas descended, she cut them down. She hit Naruto so hard she fractured his jaw. He crashed through a building. Kakashi and the others landed beside him. Even the Hokage, they all blinked in absolute shock when they saw Kushina. but Naruto could feel it though something was wrong. Naruto has lived this life over and over and over and over again. It's 4 million times, and yet, never before in his entire experience has this ever happened. She spoke with such a soft tone as she stepped towards him. That is when someone arrived. They kicked Kushina so hard she was sent through the village and through the mountains in the far distance. This woman that arrived, it was the same woman that had saw the book, the same woman that had saw the same amount of numbers of time that Naruto has been brought back. Her connection with this whole thing was mysterious, but when she questioned Naruto and she saw that he did not know her, she seemed rather hurt. A mystery between their link and their past. But Naruto had no idea what was going on. This has never happened to him before. The woman with the long white hair and blue eyes had knocked Kushina so hard. Naruto believed that she was dead, but everyone could feel her power returning as she was blasting back to the village. It was the first time in 4 million times that Naruto actually started to feel the sensation of fear, something he hasn't felt in a very, very long while. But this was also something new, something that has never happened before. As Kushina raced back towards the village, bringing many unknowns. So yeah guys, basically as we left off, you guys can switch across the place, check out for yourself so to begin this new episode guys. Hiruzen Sarutobi knocked the rubble off himself, along with others, as the entire building had came down. It was a good thing that they weren't squashed. His mind reeling at the implications. Hiruzen had no doubt in his mind that the woman that he just saw was Kushina Uzumaki. But how was that possible? He was helped to his feet by Kakashi Hatake, who had been nearby. The realization also stunning him. They looked at one another as they saw when the mountain in the far distance exploded from the so-called Kushina crashing into it. Over to the other side, as Naruto was landing back down. The strange woman, blue eyes, much brighter than his, long flowing white hair, as she gazed towards him. But she turned her gaze towards the horizon. Stand behind me, she's coming. Kushina landed. She didn't seem upset though, despite just being knocked through a mountain. She seemed rather amused. Just as strong as I remember, she said. But, answer me this. Do you really think you can keep me from nabbing him, Rukia? She questioned, identifying the white-haired girl as Rukia. The so-called Rukia reached, as suddenly, light started to bend around her hand, twisting into a strange weapon. It was a sword, but this was not like any sword that Naruto has ever seen before. And this was a problem. Naruto had this life for 4 million years now. He learned everything, he saw everything. He's never seen this woman before. And this event has never happened. None of this was making sense. The most surprising part was these two women knew everything about his constant reincarnation. As that gave Naruto hope that something else was at play here. The problem was his lack of training to relearn everything that he once knew, to train his body into absolute peak of evolution. That did not happen because he was too lazy and he believed that it was pointless. Thus, he was too weak to defend himself. And he had to rely on this woman because his own mother, if she was indeed her, was trying to kill him at the moment for reasons that he doesn't understand. Unfortunately though, she was a threat to the village. And thus the ninjas of Konoha tried to stop her. Rukia shouted immediately, "Don't!" But it was too late. She moved through them. Time seemed to slow down. Her hands moving across them, her nails glowing with a red tint. By the time she stopped moving, they split into chunks of pieces falling onto the ground. Everyone was startled. Hiruzen himself, tearing away at the Hokage robes, removing the restraints that would get in the way of his fight. He wasn't wearing his armor, but this will have to do. Rukia shouted, "Stay back! You will all die," she said. "Come on now. All you have to do is to come with me, and no one else will die." Kushina whispered in Nuta's ear. Nuta has been through so much, time and time again. But for some reason, for the first time, since giving up on everything, he was feeling afraid. Why did he feel like he was going to die? But that didn't matter. Even if he died, he would return, but perhaps this was the only time something had changed. This was the only time he could get answers. But she didn't want to kill him. She wanted to take him. The energy whipped past Nuta's face. Kushina blocked it though. Rukia blitzed past Naruto and sliced at Kushina. With each slice, Kushina dodged. The both of them moving so fast, almost could see was blurs. Kushina jumped into the sky as she landed on one of the buildings. What followed was her using chains from her back to rip the building out of the ground and throw it. Rukia split it into 1,000 pieces as she waved her blade so fast. So many times to others it was like a blur. Harmless chunks fell to the ground. Kushina landed and dashed forward. Rukia blocked her nails with a blade. "It's only a matter of time before I get him. You can't defend him forever." Rukia kicked her feet away, delivering a brutal kick to the stomach. She then slashed several times. The ground erupted with a strange blue energy, blasting Kushina away. But even that couldn't stop her. He may not have proper control, but there is something that he can do that doesn't require control at the moment. Naruto ran towards the debris, throwing stones and throwing stuffs away. He found the Hokage broken ink bottle. Hiruzen questioning what he was doing, but Naruto didn't have time. Dipping his finger in it as he pulled a scroll out, Naruto started to write something on the scroll. Hastily, quickly. It might be not perfect, but it does not matter. All he needed was one shot. Once it was done, Naruto looked at the seal. "Perfect," he said. He then ran forward as the two women clashed. If they stay here for much longer, they would tear the village apart. Naruto made his way. He shouted out, "You want me," he said. "Come and get me." Kushina smiled as she saw him. She blurred away. Rukia shouted at Naruto to run away, but he would not listen though. As Naruto started to build the energy inside of his body, it would take quite a lot out of him, but it was necessary. He learned this a long time ago. Given his lack of control at the moment, it wouldn't be pretty. As Naruto started to twist the seal in his hand, the moment Kushina got close enough, he activated it. Naruto's gaze fell on the mountain. Space-time teleportation, using his eyes. The problem was his lack of control. The both of them crashed into the side of the mountain in the far distance, extremely far away from Konoha, where no one lay. Rukia moving with intense speed, flying through the trees, trying to catch up with them. Kushina picked herself up, dusting herself off, trying to save your village. But what's the point? Haven't you burned it yourself before? Well, this time I'm not the bad guy, and I want some answers. And I can tell that you're not going to be the one to give it to me, but she, on the other hand, she will. Well, you just left her behind, and now I can take you. It's not like you can stop me. Stop you? Nah, I'm gonna kill you. You might look like her, but you're not my mother. Kushina reached, but Naruto went nuclear. Despite the distance between the village and the mountains, the explosion released a violent backlash upon the village. Windows exploded. People had to hunker down. The violent surge wiped away 5 mountains. Enough power to level a nation. He released it all at once. It was a suicidal technique. Tying your life force to your chakra and releasing it all in a concussive blast after folding it in on itself so that the compression would be violent. However, over the years, Naruto had learned how to stop it from costing his life. The problem was, it drained him. Yes, very much so. But this was the only thing that he could think of, given the circumstances and how weak he actually was. Naruto lay there, in the broken destruction area. Nothing remained. Absolutely nothing. He lay there. His body was stiff. His eyes open, but he couldn't move. He had no energy. It wasn't just his life. It wasn't just his chakra. The two of them together. But Naruto was able to isolate a part of himself so that his life could be spared. If he had more control, he would have been able to do this without collapsing like this. However, he felt her as she landed. Naruto gazed towards her before he blacked out. Rukia scooping him up as she held him. He forgot everything. She thought to herself, but it doesn't matter now. She found him. They were finally back together after all this time. As she smiled. Time skip. The people were moving around. Throughout Konoha, many lives had been lost. For what? That mindless fiend that wanted to kill or capture Naruto. Her resemblance to Kushina Uzumaki was startling to most. Naruto woke up in the hospital. Hours later, his recovery time was surprising. The amount of energy connected to his life force that he used, it should have knocked him out for a good week or so. However, he was sure that it would have been enough to eradicate that fiend who looked like his mother. When he woke up, Rukia was there. She was just sitting there calmly waiting on him. Naruto gazed towards her, having this itch in the back of his mind but unable to tell what it was. Her gaze snapped towards him. "You're awake," she said. She seemed rather pleased. "Is she gone?" said Naruto as he pulled himself up. "Yes. Your attack was able to stall her." "Wait. What do you mean stall her?" said Naruto. "Is she not dead?" "I'm afraid it's not that easy. Killing her is not an easy feat." "I don't understand what's going on. Why does she look like Kushina Uzumaki? Who are you? And what's going on?" "Well, she is your mother, in a sense. She was the original. The original to what? The beginning." "You truly have forgotten everything, haven't you, Master?" Master, said Naruto. "Yes, I am Rukia, your sworn and loyal servant. After all this time being drift into the endless loop of void, I have finally found you," she said. Naruto gazed towards her. "You know about the reincarnations over and over." "Yes, I found the exact one. In this time, 4,572,000, correct?" "Yes," Naruto said. "But I don't know who you are or remember anything about what you're talking about." "I'm not surprised," she said, "given what you went through. The door opened up as Hiruzen Sarutobi stepped in. Envoy guards had been posted at the door. "You're okay," he said. "Yeah," said Naruto. "Better off than I would have been a couple of hours ago," said Naruto. "She has refused to leave your side. However, as we learned that she only wished to help you. Your recovery rate is thanks to her." "I can see that," said Naruto. "I was supposed to be out for a week or so. All this time, I neglect to take what you're saying seriously. But this prime example is something that I cannot deny." "What is going on?" "Unfortunately, this is not something I can tell you," said Naruto. "Because this has never happened to me in all of my times of coming back over and over again. Because this is a first. Because he's returning." Rukia said. "Who is he?" "Your brother." My what?" "It is okay. I shall tell you everything," she said. Flashback. A time beyond time. In the beginning, before chakra, before the so-called gods, before the weaker gods, the Asusukis, before any of that, before time itself, there was two lights, two beings. They were the spark of creation, Naruto and Menma. They were the firstborn of the Light Leagues. The Light Leagues were an ancient celestial bloodline that had said to exist before all dimensions. Their very existence maintained the equilibrium between order, chaos, and life, and oblivion. In many of the loops that Naruto, well, all of them that Naruto entered, he had a mother and a father. However, the names Minato and Kushina, they also came from the Light Leagues. They hail as the first to nurture the two source, which was Naruto and Menma, into existence. So in a sense, you could call them their parents. Yes, they were the celestial anchors that forged them and stabilized them through existence and emotion and will. They raised their children in the garden of light where eternity was. They were beyond the concept of most things. It was their very existence that kept everything together, that kept everything stable. When the brothers came into reality, their energies were the opposite of one another. Naruto energy, it resonated with creation, compassion, and endless potential, while Menma energy, it resonated with infantry, ambition, and the hunger to reshape reality itself. It was from the Light Leagues that everything started. However, as they view it all, Menma did not see it as the others did. As they came into themselves, Menma started to question the balance that their family maintained. Beyond the scope, all they did was view and kept things in check. He questioned, why should we preserve the universe that limits us? We don't even interact with it that much. It is our power that keep it stable and in check. Why not make them worship us? It was from that first statement that everything started to change. Menma learned forbidden truths. The Light Leagues, they could bend the threads of time. They could break the cycle of life and death itself. They could forge new cosmos under their control. Kushina and Minato found out. His rage too late. It had already consumed his heart. It was the hunger inside of him to change, to corrupt, to bend into something unrecognizable. So he went to the source of the Light League. It was a very powerful core that kept things together. He corrupted the core from the very essence itself. He warped their parents' essence into something monstrous. That twisted Kushina, the reason why Rukia said that she wasn't dead, her essence had been, well, split across countless timelines. This one might have been destroyed, but another would return. It was due to Menma returning. Yes. He manipulated his parents, twisted them. Despite everything, the connection of the light leagues were not as human connections, empathy and those things. They barely felt those emotions. They view them, they understand them, but it was hard to express them. So yes, there was no hesitation on his part. He came to his brother, wanting his help. Together they will be unstoppable. However, Naruto saw what he was doing as corruption, so he stood against him. His own brother, his Miru, his counterpart. It was their battle that did it. In the beginning there was only one. However, their battle shattered. It shattered the core of the dimension, fracturing it into infinite timelines. Yes, it was their battle that started the whole thing. It was that shattering that started it all. The Naruto multiverse. The Naruto story. Their clash created this multiverse. It was the start of everything. All the Naruto stories. Every Naruto born in every universe is a spark of the first Naruto. Each living a different story, yet an echo of the same fate. To seek balance, to struggle, to rise, and to fall. Naruto bested Menma, but barely though. Their strength was almost equal, but Naruto won. With the last of his light, he sealed Menma away. The problem was, when they clashed, it wasn't just one multiverse that was brought into existence. The reason why we never saw Menma as Naruto's brother, the reason why there was no Menma in any of the other timelines was simple. There was another rupture. The two clashed and started two. Menma was trapped, his essence scattering and trapped away in his own world, his own universe, his own multiverse, where he is the one, his story, his life. But unlike Naruto, his path was never good. It was always dark. But that is where the problem lay. Naruto had sealed Menma beyond time, scattering his essence across his own multiverse. In doing so, Naruto also cursed himself as well. There had to be balance. Naruto consciousness became bound to every single version of himself that would ever existed. Endless reincarnation across endless timelines, endless life, and counting. The problem was, it was not 4,572,000. Naruto has reincarnated trillions of times. You see, the reincarnations were supposed to be that. Naruto wasn't supposed to remember them. He was supposed to live as the Naruto in that universe, not remembering his past, not remembering his origins. He wasn't supposed to remember anything. He was supposed to be just that. Naruto, Uzumaki, sometime Uchiha, some Naruto in one other way, sometime evil but mostly good. And this is where the problems start. He wasn't supposed to remember. But 4,572,000 time ago, the first memory came back to him. The first knowledge that he was being reincarnated. While he usually slept and simply exists as a different part of himself, he started to remember quicker and quicker. But Naruto had no idea why. To him, he was just cursed. But he was wrong. The reason why he started to remember was Menma. Menma started to awaken, the both of them being the opposite of one another. The mirror, the link. When one remember, the other shall awaken. Menma started to remember. He started to wake up. Thus Naruto started to see that his life was continuing over and over, but he doesn't have the memories of what exactly was going on. As for Rukia, she was created by Naruto in the beginning. After all, he was part creation. He created her as an essence to understand more. When Naruto was trapped away in the endless loop, as he saw that it was for the better, and it's not like he would ever remember because the both of them would be forever trapped. She basically shut down when that happened. Her mind, her existence just shutting down. But she awoken. She did. On the first loop. The first time that Naruto remembered, she felt it. And she wake up. The problem was, the multiverse was infinite. So she searched. She could not find him because his essence was in all of them, so she felt him everywhere. She searched. Again and again and again and again. Time really meant nothing to her. And finally, after 4,572,000 times, she found him. She finally found him. It was Kushina's presence here. She came here from the beginning of the Land of Wave arc. She had felt him, but she believed that he might be just another Naruto, not the one that she was searching for. She would have intervened right away, but she felt something wrong. She felt the energy. Somehow, the remnants of his mother had made it to this world. Menma had learned to breach into this causality. That was bad. She was waiting to see if she was wrong or right, and she was right. And thus, that is why she's here. Finally finding him after all these years. As we return back to the regular time, Hiruzen and Naruto looked at her, wanting to see if this was some kind of joke. Yet she did not laugh. She looked back at them, absolute serious. She was telling the truth. Naruto could feel it. "Why don't I remember anything?" said Naruto. "It was you," she said to him. "You were the one that said it was for the best. As you would never remember your past life. You would just exist through them. But your brother has awakened. Somehow he's remembered. Somehow he's put himself back together. Not completely, I believe. But with his awakening, you have also started to remember. You believe that you were cursed, but you were not. You were simply remembering your life, but not having the memories to understand why. You're the one that started it all. You too created existence into what it is right now. From the one universe into multiples, infinite worlds." The implications hit Naruto like a brick, unable to believe what he was hearing. You have the power inside of you. You simply have to recover it. Each world, each infinite loop, each time you die, that power has resonated through you. It's out there. You simply need to pull it back to yourself. You simply need to become what you were before. Naruto looked at her, how he said, "Just reach. Reach outwards. Feel it. Feel the connection through yourself and through everything. All of your past life. All of the ones that are going on right now. Feel your connection through them all. Wait, if I do this, what will happen to the other Narutos in the other multiverses who are living their life? Unfortunately, without the link inside of all of them, their universe will cease to exist," she said. "Think of it like a thread, interwoven through all of them, keeping them stable, despite none of them knowing that it's there. In the center of it all is yourself. your copies. Over time, you have been going through countless of their minds, living their life. You weren't supposed to remember anything, but when your brother woke up, you started to remember as well. But your memories of your past seem to be still captivated away from you. Naruto looked down, Hiruzen watching him very carefully. Naruto had no idea why he was struggling with this. 4 million to him. However, the problem was, so much time had passed by, he stopped caring about everything. He stopped feeling fear, and yet today, he felt fear. And here he was struggling with something that he would have done another time without hesitation. Why? Was it because of the revelation? That he was something much bigger than he thought? That he was a part of something much greater? She stepped forward. I cannot force you to do this. I am only here to follow your commands and help you as I can, she said. However, if your brother is strong enough to send a replica of your mother here, it means he's growing stronger to break through the veil, to cross multiverses. Just like that, he's able to step out of the bounds of time, not with his body yet, but with his mind, to open up wormholes through the gaps and reach inside of this, a place that he should never be able to enter. I can only imagine how much stronger he's become over the time. And if he does arrive, he will set out to do what he always wanted to do, to change everything, to combine everything back together, but in his way, all of the others will bow. All reality will cease having free will. They will all be under him. And through his vision, all of the copies will die anyways. Countless will be erased. I'm just trying to let you understand what is at stake. Not to mention, this time, he will trap you away, and you won't be able to recover yourself because your strength won't be able to reach anywhere close to his. Her voice was filled with concern. Naruto did not know how close their relationship was. Then again, he made her, so yes. Hiruzen Sarutobi had to sit down. At first, believing that Naruto was just making things up, and now hearing all of this, he had to sit down and take a breath. While that was going on, we step out of this connection, this interwoven of multiverses connecting together into something else. A young man. He had red hair, blue eyes, whisker marks on his cheek, but 2 instead of 3. He gazed upwards. His name was Menma. He could feel his chest tightening as he watched the sun dim, as he watched the sun fell from the heavens themselves and exploded, eradicating everything within this universe. But this wasn't the first, and this wouldn't be the last. Flashback. Menma Uzumaki, that was his name. Hated the unfair treatment, hated the way the people look at him. He turned dark. He joined Orochimaru, he killed Orochimaru. He massacred the Akatsuki and took the Rinnegan. As he finally got what he wanted, he achieved greatness. He became the god of this world. Yet, as he slept in a bed filled with women, he started to hear whispers. Sleepless nights. He grew paranoid until finally it broke through. Standing in front of him was himself. Menma was confused. Who are you? I am you. I am the original. The original? I don't understand. You will soon enough. You are connected to me as my fragment. But you are the base. You are the start. It is through you that I will return. All you have to do is to accept me. I can grant you power. I can grant you control not over this puny world, not over this puny universe, but over everything. All reality. All understanding. You will truly become a god. Menma did not hesitate, always power hungry. That night, when he opened his eyes, it wasn't the same Menma from this universe anymore. It was him. The original, as he looked at his hands. Finally, he said to himself, his brother had woven a perfect trap for him, to seal him away for the rest of eternity, till the end of everything. However, his brother thought that he was the only creative one. Menma could not create like how Nuta created, but he could distort. Looking down, he reached towards his shadow and placed his hand on it. It started to twist and ride, before it came together, revealing a woman. She had dark hair, crimson eyes. She immediately went down to one knee. "My lord, was I successful?" she said, trying to see if she was speaking to the original or just one of the copies with more control over his essence. He reached and caressed her cheek. "You were. Took you a long time though. I apologize, my lord. I had to keep myself hidden, so my essence would not alert any of his former companions to have them awaken and try to stop me." "It doesn't matter," said Menma. "I am back. But I need my power. I can feel the connection through all of them. But something is wrong," he said. "He did something when he trapped me away. I can't siphon it back into myself." "Then how, my lord?" she said. "How shall we retrieve your power?" Menma scowled. "This will take longer than I would have expected, but it is something we have to do until I'm strong enough to overcome this weakness of what he did to me." His gaze, focused, seen beyond the walls, seen beyond this galaxy, this universe. "Naruto, I will find you. And this time, you will be the one to suffer for your actions. And everything shall be mine as it rightfully should have been." He thrust his hands out. "Arise," he said. Kushina snapped her eyes open. Within one of the many universes, the closest, her eyes changed. Mom, Menma, Uzumaki stood there. A younger version. In this world, Kushina survived. She was holding a knife in her hand. She turned and slit his throat. There was no hesitation. The essence that was inside of him returned to the original. "I am coming," she said. Across, into another, sitting at his desk. Minato Namikaze blinked. His gaze changed and immediately, the darkness inside of him awakening. And thus it started. At the moment, Menma sat on a throne, his power having returned to him in a large quantity. Menma wanted enough of his power so that he could end this cosmology. He was going to destroy this entire multiverse, reabsorbing everything. He just needed to return a good amount of his power to do so. Menma could feel his brother awakening, but that did not matter. He will reach there before him because Menma believed that both of them share the same infliction of what he was going through in the beginning. When he tried to reabsorb his power, "Just a little more time," he said to himself. Suddenly, Minato Namikaze appeared beside him. "What did you learn?" "Kushina has been destroyed," said Minato. "However, his servant Rukia, I found her. And I believe I found your original brother. But he's weakened. Gravely so. I'm not sure how they stopped Kushina. However, this is the moment." Menma raised his hand, as behind him you could see thousands of threads, leading into different connections. He plucked one of them, as Kushina formed out of the thread. "This time the both of you together. Bring him to me." They both nodded and made their way off. But guys, be and subscribe right here. If you want to see the next part, you already know what to do. Like, subscribe, comment down below, and turn on that bell notification as they posted. But I'm off for now. Peace.